Okay. So, hello, Mr. Anur. I'm Deep Bobde.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm from
hi
Geetam
Deep.
University, Hyderabad, and I'm pursuing my BTech in CSC, Computer Science and Engineering.
Okay, okay, Deep. Good to meet you.
Can you introduce yourself?
Can you? Yeah, sure. So yeah, my name is Anur Punyani. I have been in the software industry for about 17 years, and work currently now I am working to build a neighborhood connectivity startup called Ilaka. Ilaka Technologies is the registered name of the company. However, our brand name continues to be Ilaka.
Okay, that's good to hear. So,
And yeah, it's tell me, yeah,
like,
tell
um,
me.
what's your background and your current role in the industry?
So currently, I'm the founder and the CEO,
Okay,
and we are trying to establish a different model of leadership in which we don't have a single leader for a particular leadership role, but a committee of leaders. So it's a different kind of a view in which I am a part of a leadership committee. You can call it a steering committee. You can call it a CEO committee. So currently, I'm part of that committee. Although technically I am the founder CEO, but we believe
okay,
that when multiple people work together as a team, the results are much better. Rather than somebody saying that I am the owner of the company, we believe in a joint ownership kind of a model. Yeah. So yeah, I am primarily, I would say the vision belongs to me. The original vision belongs to me, but I would say now it's a shared vision. It's a shared dream. It's not only me who's doing this leadership role, but we have a team of leaders right now. And I would say I'm one of the members of the leadership team.
okay, that's nice. So,
Yeah, but
can
on the
you?
title front, I am the
Okay,
CEO and founder. The
yeah, yeah.
title I have is the CEO and founder of the company.
Okay, so what's your in-depth education and like what inspired you like for doing this?
See, I've had a kind of a patchy education, although I come from a very educated family of my father used to be a professor in IIT. Mother is still a practicing doctor. My
Okay,
brother is an IITian. My close uncle is an IITian. My mama. Uh, all of that is my family, not me. I am a very experimental guy. I had a lot of I would say twists and turns in my career. A lot of them. I never followed a straight career path. A lot of questioning of why we need to learn this and why we need to learn that. And entrepreneurship came into my life, I would say, about in the first year of my career itself. I had this because I have always been full of ideas, always been full of solutions to problems. Can you hear me? I think your video is frozen.
oh, I
Yeah.
guess
So
wait, yeah,
I started my career as a game developer.
oh,
Your voice is breaking a bit. Yes, your voice is breaking.
wait, let me change my Wi-Fi. Okay, yeah, now can you
Yeah.
hear me? Can you hear me now?
I had a kind of a very yes, I can, I can,
Yeah, okay, okay.
I can, but it's kind of delayed. The
Mm, I can hear
it's
you.
kind of there's a delay I can hear.
Okay, you can
Okay,
just
fine.
continue.
If it's better, we can continue.
Yeah,
So career-wise, yeah, career-wise, I would say. So first question was what are my career credentials? I would say nothing worth writing home about. I tried to give IIT JEE. I was not interested. Then I did a BSc in chemistry. Again, I was not too interested. Finally, after a lot of experimental, options like an MA in sociology, I landed up in a software postgraduate course. But there, I started actually liking it because I was getting to build something, maybe small applications, this, that, here, that. Due to my kind of wavy career path, I was not able to crack a job as a fresher easily. But gaming industry, I got a job because all they cared about is how well you write code. They didn't care about anything else, and that's where I was good. So being a game developer, I learned how to solve a lot of interesting challenges. Like as a programmer, if you have to be a good programmer, then problem solving has to be in your blood. It has to be a part of your personality almost, I would say. It's a very complex profession. Playing games is very easy, making games is equally tough.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
there are a lot of technical challenges that we have to handle. So a lot of technical challenges that we have to deal with, and those technical challenges brought out a problem solver in me, who used to look for a lot of solutions to. Like one of the very first entrepreneurial ideas I had was I realized that we were sitting on the desk for 8 hours, 10 hours, and we were not working out. So I realized that I thought that even now I would say it's a valid idea. Why not have a small treadmill kind of a thing below everyone's desk, right? So people can there's a lot of nervous energy which builds up when you're working on a problem. So suppose you're trying to think of something, you're trying to solve a problem in math, your body will feel tensed. That is because it's a very natural biological reaction that when your body is working on a problem, your mind is working on the problem, your body also feels the pressure. It's like you're fighting for food in the jungle. Your body does not know that this is only a mental problem. So there's a lot of nervous energy build up, and that nervous energy can also be released when you're cycling with your feet and you're writing coding with your hands. So you don't need to take out separate time for the gym. You're working out. How about that same energy is utilized to generate electricity for the office? So imagine 100 employees doing cycling below their desk, and company's electricity bill is going down. They are feeling more calm because if I don't know if you have ever realized this, that you think better when you walk, because the nervous energy keeps
Yes.
gets an outlet, and your mind can then think freely. When you're sitting and you're thinking hard, you feel like you're being restricted. So that was one of the initial ideas I had. I discussed that. I thought of converting that into a business idea. After that, multiple ideas like why can't we have a cycle which is like a tricycle, which is close to the ground, which does not have balance issues, and we have a shade on top. So cycling will become much more comfortable. You can have a battery pack which will supply electricity for the fan inside, some kind of a display which will give you a speed. So even now, I don't know why people can't build a safer cycle. Cycles are very unsafe, especially in a country like India. How about we have a three-wheeler cycle? So all these dreams were there, and then a lot of other. So I went on that path of solving simple problems. My brother and I used to jam, like people who play music, they jam together. We used to jam on these ideas for a long time. So this is actually my second startup. My first startup was about teaching kids how to write programs.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so that's how I got into the world of mentally at least I got inspired to be an entrepreneur because I saw a lot of problems around me, and I saw that nobody is really working on those problems, and there are a lot of unsolved problems. Even today, I feel there are a lot of unsolved problems. Even with the Ilaka being there, I feel there are hundreds of other problems that other than Ilaka that could be solved. Other than the way we are connecting neighbors.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if suppose somebody else takes over Ilaka, I'll have hundred other problems to solve. So that's the inspiration, like problems which can be solved, but nobody is solving them.
Okay. So I would ask what are the
Yeah, I hope that
obstacles
answers your
and
question.
yes, yes, absolutely. So my next question is what are the obstacles and challenges coming into your business or something or your startup?
I would say the biggest see for me, I would say it has not been I have not faced too many obstacles because I didn't have a very strict timeline on when this should work. I was doing a job by the side and
Okay,
this by the side. So I had lots of time to experiment with the idea, let people support me, get a proof of concept. Um, but yes, the biggest challenge once we started going into startup mode was getting the bits together. You're trying to build a bridge from two sides. Now you have to go at a certain pace so that we meet at the center. So we are trying to get money from someone. We are trying to get someone to use that money to work on something. You're trying to hire somebody. So it is like you have five different threads from different places. You have to pull them in. You have to tie a knot with them at the center. If one of them also becomes loose, the knot, your knot is not does not get formed. So all of them should start converging. The money, the people who should give money should be ready with the money. They should be first convinced. You have to identify 10 people so that you are able to convert one. So out of 10 people whom you talk to get you money, only one will get convinced. Out of 10 people at a senior level whom you will try to convince to join the team, only one will get convinced. So there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of convincing, there's a lot of frustration. But fortunately, I have learned to deal with a lot of frustration very early in life. So I have accepted that people who join me with a lot of passion may suddenly disappear. I am totally used to that. Maybe from my previous startup. Maybe I would attribute a lot of my resilience to game programming. Because in game programming, what happens is you write a huge, beautiful piece of code. You think you've done well, but you forgot one case, and the whole thing will go for a toss. And then you have to start writing the code at 10 o'clock in the night. It has to be delivered by tomorrow. I have dealt with that. That has given me that solid armor by which I can deal with frustration very easily. It has made me used to frustration. So the biggest, I would say, my journey has been a realization of how big this idea may become. That is it's kind of very difficult for it to be contained inside a person like me. Uh, if I can share with you, I feel where we are working on an idea which can change a lot of things. New solutions keep coming up, and it is, I would say, it can become, the excitement can become a little too much for a person, somebody who's not seen big money, somebody who's not seen big scale like me. That I would say is a bigger challenge than anything else.
Okay, that's
Operationally, working wise, funding wise, I think it has been a very smooth run. It has been a very smooth run primarily because of my preparation to deal with frustrations in general.
okay. So like, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so like, in this startup of your like in the startup, like what lessons have you learned from this?
See, I mean, to be very honest, the startup journey has been very brief. The groundwork that we have done, that I have done as a single person, me and my wife, that journey has been long. The actual startup journey is not more than 3 months old. That said, the outlook is very positive. We are very optimistic. Uh, Sorry, what was the question again?
Like what lessons have you learned from your business? Yeah.
What was the question? What was the question? Yeah, lessons. Uh, I think I came to this startup with a lot of lessons already learned, but and it's been a very brief journey, I would say. One of the lessons I would say, the biggest lessons I would say is I'm actually a very trusting guy. I believe in the goodness of heart of most people. Somebody I considered as a younger brother, as a core team member, as a very good friend, suddenly created a story and left the company for a better pay. And so the lesson I learned is, yes, you have to be trusting. If you have to build something really big, if you have a vision to change the world, then you cannot say that people are bad and then you have to just make money. You have to believe in the fundamental goodness of people, because that has given us a lot more than disbelieving in people. That said, only thing I have learned from this is to trust, but not to jump into trusting somebody blindly. There needs to be a gap between when you meet somebody, build a relationship, and then trust somebody with eyes closed. So my biggest learning, I would say, is in the team building process. I've built a huge team now. It's like 25 people now. Is that trust is very necessary. You have to communicate and build a relationship in such a way that you can trust the other person with your life. However, don't do that immediately. Do that, you give a certain amount of time duration. You give some more time for the trust to build and become solidified. That has been my
Okay.
biggest learning in building a team. Operationally, financially, I would say, yeah, one self, just because the other person who's talking to you has is the owner of a 500 crore company. We have been talking to people, startup founders. One of them is the CTO of a 500 crore company. However, in the conversation that I had with him, I felt that I was making more sense than him. Just because he's built a very big company already does not mean that that particular person is a god. So everything needs to be taken with a pinch of salt. Even tomorrow, if say Mukesh Ambani comes and talks to us and says that your idea is good or your idea is not good, we will take it with a pinch of salt. We will not believe anybody like God. That's another big lesson that I've learned.
Yes,
Nobody
yes,
is God. They have also learned it. They have also made mistakes, like we are. So everything needs to be taken with a pinch of salt, and we have to keep our judgment alive all the time. No, not to take anybody's word as the word of God, no matter how successful they are.
exactly. You are absolutely true. So then, uh, what your work has influenced like your industry or community or society?
Yeah, I would say if you know anything about what Ilaka does, we and giving the convenience that people feel with online interactions. So the problem is, see, when you deal directly with service providers, our primary work till now has been about dealing with getting people the work done, whatever home housework that they need, services that they need. Maybe it could be a full home cleaning, it could be painting, it could be even booking a cab to the airport. But that's not our main goal. Our main goal always has been to connect the neighborhood together like a tight social network. uh, Repairs and services is a good way for it's called a go-to-market strategy. So that's been a go-to-market strategy in which we can easily make people understand about, I mean, make people understand the value that we add. That said, our main core value proposition is not that. Our core value proposition is neighbor to neighbor connect, community building. That is a way main value proposition. Sorry, I lost track of what was the question. What was the question again?
Like, what your work has influenced, like in your
Correct.
industry or
Uh,
community?
Correct. So in our community, I would say um, uh, we 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 come across. I mean, from the feedback that we have got from people around us, we come across as a very easy way for people to organize the issues of their life, like maintaining upkeep of their home or planning travel or lots of other things. So or even getting some documents updated like Aadhaar card, PAN card. All they have to do is post a message in a group and somebody is good there to take care of the work. So I would say uh, in the community the community that we serve and we're trying to build, the impact has been to make lives of people much more easy in terms of the upkeep of their homes, their lives in general. However, that's a very small point where we want to begin, in which people interact with each other. We want spaces to be created outside of communities where people can interact, where somebody like Deep Bobde can connect with people of his age. They can play PUBG. They can talk about the different issues of their life. What Deep is doing in Geetam University. Somebody can, somebody from Aparna Lake Breeze or from Avenues will come and tell Deep what they are doing in Bits Pilani. They are creating a program. Five people like Deep can come together and create their own company, and they can have a good time. They can meet people of their own age. Deep can find his own new friends nearby his community, which he does not know about. He can find somebody to go skating with or somebody to go for a long bike ride with. Right now, there is no way in which Deep can find somebody in his neighborhood with whom he can vibe, with whom he can get, make a good friendship. You make friends in college, but I'm sure you don't make as many friends in Lake Breeze Avenues and Silver Oaks,
Yeah,
right? There is no easy way to find friends and people of your, or maybe even Anur. Deep could find Anur because of his dad's connections. But but what Ilaka is planning to do is so that Deep can directly say, "Hey, is there any entrepreneur around? I want to conduct an interview." So Deep does not need his dad's connections. That is what we are trying to build.
yeah, okay.
Or somebody is just feeling low. They want somebody to talk to. Why should somebody pay 2,000 rupees to a therapist? Of course, I'm not devaluing the value of therapists. Therapists are also equally important. But all you need is somebody to just listen that you had a had hard day. Maybe your professor scolded you for no reason. Maybe there's this tough exam that you're not able to get through. You're not able to understand the concept. What Ilaka will do is give Deep a platform to seek such help. That somebody will say, hey, I'm free, I can talk to you, Deep, maybe I can help you with in college, maybe you will feel better after talking. So these are the kind of things that we eventually plan to do, which is a neighbor to neighbor connect, which is a genuine social network. Right now, the social networks that we have, I very strongly feel they are only wasting our time. We watch reels, we forget about them. Somebody does, maybe buys a new bike, puts it up there. They get a good, certificate or something, and they put it up there. It's not winning you friends. It's only getting you jealousy. If you say, I say, I went to France and did a party, your friends will put a like, but they will also be jealous of you on Facebook or Insta, right? If you say,
Yeah.
I bought this new cool tech toy, new iPhone, do you think you'll make new friends by putting that post,
No.
right? So we want to create interactions in which you will make genuine friends, not and we want that way. I'm saying we are trying to build a genuine social network, and repairs and services is just one small beginning in that direction. That is the kind of impact we want to have on the community and our industry and our people around us.
Okay. That was really good one. So like
Thank you. Yeah.
like what advice would you give for like the for the future entrepreneurs?
I don't know. Yeah. Deep, to be honest, I am really not qualified to be answering that question because I'm also a future entrepreneur. I mean, I'm still an entrepreneur. I'm not done with that journey. I'm still in the very early stages of the journey. So this is something like somebody who's running the race. You're asking how should I run? Because even I'm running, right? I mean,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I would say I would not really give advice to anybody to be a future entrepreneur, but I would genuinely wish for people to be problem solvers in general, whether it's as an entrepreneur, whether it's as a student, whether it's as a resident of Aparna Lake Breeze. I would say people, anybody and everybody should have a problem solving mindset. Right now, I'm sure your back hurts every time you come from PGR Enclave into Lake Breeze. The roads are extremely pathetic. There is no doubt about it.
Yeah.
What makes me so sad is we have intelligent people, we have capable people, we have people with connections. Nobody is organized in an organized way trying to solve this problem which is hurting our backs every day. You don't know when somebody may have a spinal issue. You don't know when somebody may be riding a bike and they may fall down in one of those pits. Somebody may lose a life, or at least if not lose a life, they may get hurt in the head with 9 stitches. They may have a fracture, but nobody has the. I'm really frustrated that despite having such capable minds, such well connected minds, people who have time other than their work, a lot of people have a lot of time other than work these days. I mean, once you reach a 15 plus years of experience, then you're basically managing a team. You have a lot of time on your hands. Why is this problem solving attitude missing among people? So to future, I would say not only the future entrepreneurs but to the future generation, I would say learn to be problem solvers, because there are tons of problems that are there are tons of problems that can be solved. If problems could not be solved, I would not be saying this, but from my experience of whether it is getting a bug fixed, whether it is getting a bug fixed, even if it is very complex, if you work at it in a systematic way, problems can be solved. So my advice to the future generation, not entrepreneurs, because I really am not qualified to advise anybody from the next generation as an entrepreneur, because I am myself in that journey. I need advice right now. I'm not somebody who can give advice. So my advice to the next generation would be to be better problem solvers. I mean, to be optimistic problem solvers. Optimism is important because once you say this road is not going to get repaired, then even if there is a solution, you'll not see it. Maybe there is a solution. Maybe all college kids of your generation can get down to the streets. They can make a video. They can put it up on Facebook. They can tag GHMC. They can make a delegation and go to GHMC and say, "Sir, we need these roads repaired because who knows tomorrow in the middle of the night, one of us is riding a bike. They fall down. Who will be responsible for that?" So problems can be solved. If not anything else, you just get the people to pool in money and get the contractor and get the roads repaired. Somebody's life is bloody at stake, right? Somebody from Aparna communities may lose their life if nothing is done about it. So I feel being good problem solvers is extremely important because there are tons of problems in the world. Inequality
Agree.
being one of them that I care about. That somebody can spend 1,000 crore rupees on a wedding party, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas 50 crore people are living without proper meals. This is a big problem. I feel this can be solved. If the people think like problem solvers, we can have a world in which this is not possible. That somebody can be earning so much that they can have a 1,000 crore ka party, and 50 crore people are hungry. What kind of a world is this? Why can't we change this? Lot of other things. I mean, from that to simple problems like what to watch on Netflix. Why is it so difficult to choose a movie to watch on OTT? This is a problem that can be solved, right? We can
Yes.
right now. Ilaka is already trying to solve it by creating a Hill Park movies group in which people recommend movies to each other. So that group can be made better. Hundreds and I mean, if you start talking the thousands and thousands of parking is a big problem. On a global scale, stress is a big problem. Smoking is a big problem. Smoking is increasing among people. Can't we have some scientific way to reduce the need for smoking? Can't we? And so there are hundreds and thousands of problems, I would say. Of course, there are problems that people are already working on, like anti-cancer drugs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about problems as a common citizen of the country, right? Even if you don't have an engineering degree, even if you don't have a medical degree or a civil engineering degree, simply as a problem solver, there's a lot you can do. So my sincere and earnest advice is to start thinking like problem solvers, learn some problem solving techniques. There is something called divide and conquer. There is something called iterative approach. Like you don't solve a problem in one shot. You don't try to fix Aparna Road problem in one day. First, you do a small trial. You try to see whether this approach works, whether you try to call 50 people down to the road, whether even if five come, maybe that's a success. You call more. If that does not work, then you try to add people. If all that does not work, try to create a reel and a comedy reel. So there are so many approaches. If you think about problem solving, for any given problem, you will see so many approaches. What iterative approach does is you will get to try out simple, smaller solutions, get to see the feedback, and go and choose the appropriate one from the five options. So I would say become problem solvers and read about common problem solving strategies. That would be my advice to the next generation, not to upcoming entrepreneurs. If you do that, you're already a half an entrepreneur because an entrepreneur is basically a problem solver at heart. He is not a technical expert. An entrepreneur generally solves problems and gets technical experts to work on those on the overall solution. So there's an overall roadmap, and for each particular department, you will have experts. For technical, you will have CTO. For operations, you will have CEO. For marketing, you will have CMO. But the overall roadmap will be created by the CEO or the on. So if you are a problem solver, you're automatically half an entrepreneur.
Okay, thank you so
Okay, so
much.
problem
That
solving
okay.
techniques is yeah. Just to complete, so just
Yeah,
I would
okay,
say to
fine.
future entrepreneurs, I can actually say learn to systematically solve problems. There is something, there are a lot of uh, already well established problem solving strategies in the world. Read about them, ask ChatGPT, and generally become problem solvers in your lives. And I think automatically you will become better entrepreneurs as well, and not only just problem solvers.
Okay, so thank you so much. That was like really good advice for the like future entrepreneurs as well as like teenagers like who wants to be an entrepreneur. So thank you so much for your time, Mr. Anur.
Most welcome. Thank you, Deep, for this interview as well. I'm actually going to share one fun fact. This is my first ever interview. So if
Oh,
ever I become famous or rich or anything, then I will say my first interview was with Deep Bobre. Okay.
yes, yes. Okay, so then I
Okay.
guess I'll like
All
close,
right.
I mean, off the this timer.
Sure. All right.